Okay, hello, this is D-Boy Pompey returns once again with another video here, and this is going to be episode 2 of my Portsmouth Food reviews, and this time I'm going to look at Frankie and Benny's. Alright, so Frankie and Benny's is the restaurant I'm going to look at today. I kind of just had it recently, sort of in the last couple of hours, so it's still kind of fresh in the mind, and I wanted to get this one done while it is still fresh in my mind, so I can kind of sort of review it a bit better. Okay, so first of all, this is the Frankie and Benny's in Portsmouth I'm looking at. It's the one in Gunwharf Quays. It's next to the View cinema. So this is one I'm going to be focusing on. If you've ever been, well, hear this review and then make a decision. Or if you have been, then you'll know which one I'm talking about. So this is my review of it. Okay, so I'll just give you a little bit of background of what I know about, what I found out about the actual Frankie and Benny's franchise. It was established in the 1920s by an Italian immigrant who went to New York. So the actual restaurant itself, it mixes the two sides. It brings the Italian Italian staples of what they eat with the American influences, the American cuisine. On its menus and its sort of its brand name, for like it says, it calls itself the New York Italian Restaurant and Bar. So you got that sort of New Yorky, Italian American sort of style there. Okay, so the style of food that's on offer is, as you'd expect from the Italian side, is you've got your pizzas, your pastas, your calzones. And your American is the steaks and the ribs and the burgers. I mean, you could say both sort of influences come under for their desserts. So they've got ice creams and sundaes and different kinds of puddings and stuff. So that's what's on there. They do breakfast menu at Frankie and Benny's, but I haven't had it, so I can't comment on what it is, on what it's like. So I'm going to leave that out in this review that I'm doing. Okay, so in this review I'm going to do it a little bit differently than I did to the last one. I'm actually going to describe what I had, because like I say, it's fresh in the memory. I've put it down, I've jotted it down, so I know exactly what I've got. I know how, what it tastes like. It's still in my mind, so I'm just going to go ahead and read off exactly what I've had and tell you guys what I think of it. Okay, so I had the 3 course, so I pretty much went for the whole thing. So I had a starter first of all, which was breadsticks with a choice of dip. Now you get 3 choices of dip. You get a pepper jack cheese dip, a Neapolitan, and a garlic butter. I went for the pepper jack cheese dip. Sounded quite nice. The breadsticks were okay. There's nothing pretty much spectacular over them. They were pretty just okay, really. The cheese dip that I went for, I looked at the garlic butter and thought, wow, I've had that so many times, garlic butter before. I just kind of wanted not to have that again. And I didn't know what Neapolitan is. I've got a feeling it's tomato. I kind of wish I did choose it, because the jack cheese dip was a little on the strong side for me. I didn't particularly like it that much. But, overall it wasn't a bad starter. That come to just under £4. So that's the price on that one. Okay, so my main now. I had a barbecue meatball pizza, the 10-inch. You can get I think all their pizzas come in the two different sizes. You get a 10-inch and a 15-inch. The barbecue meatball pizza I had was just under a tenner. You can have the 15 inches between sort of 14 and 15 pounds. The barbecue meatball pizza was really nice. The meat was really superb, nice and soft. The barbecue sauce was quite sweet. Made it give it a nice kick to it. They did overload the pizza a bit with peppers. I'm not a great lover of peppers, so that was a bit of a negative for me. But the pizza base was lovely, soft and crispy as you'd expect. You know, soft in the middle and had a nice crust, so really good. Okay, so my dessert was the cookies and cream explosion sundae. Now this was £5.25, and probably my least favourite of the meals that I had. I mean, they didn't skimp on the cream and the ice cream, so that's pretty good. But they put red berry, what they say is red berry sauce. Now I was just assuming that the red berry sauce is just going to be a sauce without any kind of, just a flavouring of berry, but it's actually got proper berry chunks in it. And when you try and mix chocolate and berry chunks, it doesn't go well for me, in my opinion. So it kind of did ruin it a bit for me. It's very overpowering, the red berry, and you could barely taste the chocolate in the actual sundae. It was only until I actually got to the bottom, I actually got a spoonful of chocolate and actually tasted the brownie, because all the other time I was just digging it in and I was eating something that was crunchy and sweet, but you couldn't taste any chocolate. All you could taste was just the red berry all around your mouth. And it was so like I say, until I got to the bottom of the actual sundae, actually could actually taste some of the actual chocolate and brownie. I mean, you would never know there's any chocolate until you actually hit the bottom. I wasn't particularly impressed with the dessert. No. Okay, so that has actually now takes down more to my meals that I had. Now, so I'll have a look at the actual pricing. Okay, my meal for me, I mean, I did go as a group, but I'm not going to focus on everybody because I'll be here forever. So just myself, my meal came to just over £20. That includes drinks. So I had a couple of drinks. I think it is a tad on the expensive side for one person, but excuse me, you pay a little bit more for atmosphere and the overheads and stuff when you go to a restaurant. So maybe it's kind of like sort of an average price. I don't really know. Okay, so the starters range on the menu. I believe it's anywhere between sort of £4 and £6. You can actually get a starter platter, which I believe is about 12 or 13 quid. And that incorporates a number of starters, but I can't say anything much more than that because I never tried it. And the mains range from £7 to about £13 or £14. Desserts £4 to £8. You get sundaes, you get ice cream. There are a couple of things like rhubarb crumble and pancakes. I think you can get sort of like stuff like that. And you get there's a kids option as well, so you get they're generally more cheaper. Okay, when I was there, I actually noticed that there was 3 different menus. Now, this is never seen before in any restaurant, I think. But there's actually a kids, which is for the younger children, talking just over sort of toddlers, maybe, sort of as they're eating solid foods. You get and you get your juniors menu, which is, I guess, in for 8, 9-year-olds till they're teens or whatever, and then you get your adults menu. What I saw, they do have baby food on their menu, so you can actually buy baby food. I've seen they cater for young children. You've got your high chairs, there are baby facilities, toilets and stuff. They do Christmas parties. I've seen that they do a couple of ideas on that. I can't say much more than that. All I can say is I've noticed that. And almost all my visits, all the time that I go there, there's always a birthday party going on, so they seem to be pretty popular with birthday parties. I mean, I didn't see any particular deals like money offs or buy ones or whatever. I do know that if you're an Asda employee, you can get some money off. But I don't know any more than that. I don't know how much or who that applies to exactly. But if that does apply to you, you work for Asda or whatever, I mean, you could check that out. If that's what you want to do. Okay, so my summary of my encounter with the people at Frankie and Benny's. I mean, the whole atmosphere seemed pretty good. Everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. I do feel the Gunwharf branch is a little cramped. When we were given our chairs, we were pretty much stuck in the on the high chairs. I don't particularly like the higher chairs. I like the ones that are actually flat on the ground, but you have to make do, I guess. It wasn't too bad. They have an upstairs section, but when I was there, it was closed, and I don't really know why. When it was so busy, because it was really busy in there and cramped, they didn't open it up, but they didn't. So yeah, that was a bit stupid. I'd say the bar is a little small. It's as you go out straight into the actual restaurant. It's on the right corner, but it is a kind of little bit small. But you know, all the drinks, you get most drinks there. All your popular beers, wines, spirits, and you get cocktails and pitchers as well. The decor, pretty decent, I guess, for what they're going with. I mean, when you go in, you can actually see like an archway. It shows you into the kitchen, so you can actually see all the chefs preparing the food and that. And it's pretty good. And they got like all kinds of different pictures and that of the owners and the friends, which I'm guessing because I don't know for sure. But there's pictures of people on the walls anyway, so you got something to look at. The music in the actual place wasn't exactly my taste. I mean, it's sort of like the Sinatra, the Rat Pack, I'm guessing. Not exactly my taste in music, but you can see how it will fit in with the whole theme of the place. One thing I have to mention is that I did have to change my order that I initially had, because I was actually going to go for a wrap. It sounded really nice, and I was told they had none of them in there, so that was annoying, but I did kind of have an eye on one of the pizzas I wanted, so it wasn't so bad, because I mean, I was kind of torn between a wrap and a pizza, so all in all it wasn't too bad. Well, anyway, that's pretty much this covers up my review here. The final verdict for me for Frankie and Benny's in Gunwharf is going to be 7 out of 10 for me. So 7 out of 10 for the Gunwharf in Portsmouth, for the Frankie and Benny's in Gunwharf, Portsmouth. So if you haven't been, and you like Italian American style eating, check it out. If you have been, yeah, well, it's a nice place. You know, go again. I would go again. Yeah, certainly. Okay, so this has been D-Ball Pompey Returns. I hope you've enjoyed listening to my review here. And if you have been listening, thank you very much. And bye bye for now. Thank you.